Hello and welcome to another episode of Geared Toward Gear. My name is Sean and I am so glad you're here because today's going to be a fun video. It's just going to be fun and you're going to have a chance to win this SHTF survival tin. And this is a challenge between myself and BigRedEDC. It's a fight to the death, no holds barred, no mercy. We're not friends for the purposes of this challenge. Of course, I'm kidding. This is all in good fun, and this idea came from our good friend Marshall. And Marshall is a friend of the channel, a friend of many channels, a great member of this community, a very talented guy. He actually made this knife, which I purchased from him. It's already been reviewed by BigRedEDC, so go check that out if you haven't already. But when he sent this knife to JB to review, he also sent him 2 empty Altoids tins. And he issued a challenge. And before I go any further, I just need to go ahead and have an Altoid real quick. My favorite Altoid is the Altoids Arctics. You guys know that. If you've watched my EDC Pocket Dumps, you'll know that that is my jam right there. Maybe in the future we can do an Altoids Arctic survival tin. That would be even harder. Because this was not easy. But here was the challenge. The challenge is this. Geared Toward Gear and BigRedEDC were to create an SHTF survival tin using the provided tin and then give it away on our channel. So on this video, you'll enter to win this survival tin that I have put together. So that should be pretty cool. JB will also be giving his away. I think he may be giving his away during his 1,500 subscriber giveaway. It's probably going to be coming up pretty soon. But regardless, you'll have a chance to win both of these kits. And there will also be a winner in terms of which kit is better. And Marshall will be the judge of that. So he'll decide whether myself or BigRedEDC put together the better survival tin. And the winner will get a prize from Marshall. He said it may be something cool, could be something goofy. But either way, it's going to be fun. And again, this is all in the name of good fun and good community and giving away some cool survival tins. I am not a survivalist. I'm definitely a prepared person, but I'm not an outdoorsman in the sense that I don't do, hiking and backpacking and things like that. It's just not really a thing where I live. So I'm not an expert, and you may look at this and be like, dude, you totally missed the mark. But I think there's some cool stuff in here. So let's just get into it and see what is in my SHTF survival tin. So first and foremost, to kind of help keep it closed, I have 4 Ranger bands. And there's 2 larger ones and 2 smaller ones. And those could be used as tinder extenders or tinder in and of themselves, in that they're rubber and they will burn. So you get 4 Ranger bands. So that's kind of the first item. As we open it up, the first thing you'll see kind of jump out is a Ziploc bag. And that can be used to maybe store water. So a kind of sandwich-sized Ziploc bag. Maybe you could put the whole tin inside of this to keep it dry if you needed to. So you get a Ziploc bag. Let's move up here to the lid. Inside of the lid, you get 3 items. You get a Fresnel lens, which is a magnifying glass. Maybe if you're a skilled individual, unlike myself, you could use that to start a fire. So you get a Fresnel lens. You also get a good bit of heavy-duty aluminum foil, which could be used to cook in or boil water in, as I understand it, with this kind of heavier duty stuff. So you get a good bit of aluminum foil, and then you also get a filter. This is a coffee filter, and this could maybe be like your pre-filter for your water. So maybe you filter it through this into your bag before boiling or purifying it. So you get a coffee filter. I'm going to put that on top of the foil to hopefully keep kind of the glare and reflection away. Moving further into this, we're going to see some duct tape. That's pretty self-explanatory. It's a multi-function tool. It's 1 inch wide, and I'm not sure exactly how much I used, but you get some duct tape. We all know what duct tape is capable of. In addition, I wanted there to be kind of a morale booster in here, because I think that's really important. If you're in a scenario where the S has hit the fan, you need to boost your morale. So I've included 1 single Altoids Arctic Mint, which is my favorite, again, as you guys probably know. And so I would like for you, if you did need to use this, to first enjoy this mint And just think of me when you do, because that's going to immediately boost your morale. And I feel like probably get you through the situation. Even just this alone would probably be enough. You don't really need any of this other stuff. This single mint, I think, is really kind of the thing that takes this kit to the next level. Now, in seriousness, I'm not actually going to send this to whoever wins because that's disgusting, because I have been now fondling this mint. But anyway, that's a joke and probably not a very funny one. So let's grab the next item, a Gerber dime. So this is one thing that I purchased specifically for this kit. A lot of this stuff I already had, but I wanted there to be some decent quality tool that had multi-functions. So I went with the Gerber dime. You've got pliers, scissors, kind of a scraper. You've got an actual blade, so you could use that to scrape, you know, a twig or a branch to create some tinder to start your fires. So you get a kind of a legit micro-sized multi-tool in the Gerber dime. So that is part of the kit as well. So we'll set that guy right there. Next up, we've got a fire steel, or a ferrocerium rod and striker, I should say. So this is your fire starting device. You just pull the end off here. There's your striker. There's your ferrocerium rod. Strike, 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 spark, spark, spark. All of a sudden, just like that, you've got fire. I realize it's not that easy, but there's some other things in here that I think will help you to get that fire started. So you get that little kind of all-in-one striker and ferrocerium rod. Stores nice and thin. So you got that going on. What is next? Next up, we've got a little folding utility razor knife. And I've got a whole bunch of these. I bought them not too long ago. And it's just a spare, very sharp blade. Maybe a backup to your main blade on your Gerber dime. If it goes dull, maybe you would use this to dig out a splinter or something like that. So a nice little razor blade. Maybe it's a zombie apocalypse and you need to just go to town on a zombie. You know, it could maybe be a weapon in that case. So you've got your little folding razor knife. What else? You've got a compass. So you need to be able to navigate, know where you're going. So, you know, if I need to head to Dallas, I know that I need to go east. So having a basic compass, a little button compass, I think could come in handy. And this one actually works, functions. So a little button compass for you to keep you knowing where you're going. Next up, we've got a little light source, which it's just kind of a little twist light. It's red in color. Let's get this thing turned on. So I put this in here so you would have some sort of a light source at night. Maybe you don't want to attract attention. Maybe you want to preserve your night vision. It's just kind of a little pill-sized LED light. You turn it off by twisting it to the left and then just slide this little silicone ring over that junction to keep it from turning on inadvertently. So there's your little LED light. Next up, we've got a little vial of Vaseline or petroleum jelly. This can be used to extend your tinder. You know, add this maybe to some twigs and branches and you know, tinder that you scraped off of a stick. I know that's a thing. Again, I'm sounding like a complete idiot here, but adding Vaseline to certain things, even paper, right? You take some paper, of which there's a few different types in here, maybe a little piece of the filter, tear it up into tiny pieces, mix in just a little bit of that, and maybe you've got a little bit better or longer lasting tinder. In addition, that's also your chapstick. So multi-function with the petroleum jelly. We've also got some wire. So this kind of represents the cordage. I thought about paracord, but it just took up too much space. So you've got some wire. This is, you know, you could call it snare wire. I guess you could make a snare out of it if you were skilled in that way, or just use it to secure two things together. So you've got a little bit of wire going on there. Put that guy up top. What's next? You've got a sewing kit and a fishing kit. I stole the sewing kit from my wife. Don't tell her. Just very basic for minor repairs. And then your fishing kit is going to have kind of 2 spools of fishing line, 2 hooks, 2 bobbers, and 2 sinkers. So there's your little fishing kit. Grab yourself a stick, put this on there, and you'll be catching, you know, marlin, probably, most likely marlin, or maybe some tuna. But you could definitely do some very minor fishing with that kit. But a basic fishing kit. Then we've got here some water purification tablets. So this is enough to treat 1 liter of water. So say you pre-filter your water with your filter, you put it in your bag, and you can't boil it. Well, there's your tabs, so you get that. So water purification tablets definitely would come in handy. Move this over here. Let's see, let's grab these little guys here. So these are 2 little tiny glow sticks, or chem lights. They're just tiny glow sticks. That's all they are. They're green when you crack them. They're so tiny they took up no space in the kit, so I figured why not have these 2 adorable little glow sticks. Maybe you're marking your camp space, or you're marking a trail or something like that. A little bit of light in the pitch dark goes a long way. So you get a couple little teeny tiny glow sticks. So those are included. Next up, we've got an alcohol wipe, just one of them. You could use it to treat a minor wound. In addition, this also is quite flammable because it does have alcohol in it. So I would imagine if you were to strike a spark onto this, it would probably ignite, and then you could, take that and set your filter on fire or your tinder that you've gathered. So a simple alcohol prep pad. 2 things left. One of which is going to be a wound dressing, just a basic kind of large size adhesive wound dressing. So if you maybe had a bit larger of a wound, you bust up your knee or your elbow or something like that, you've got a decent size sterile wound dressing. We'll just put that guy up here at the top, just cover up that logo there. And then the last thing is the tin itself. Of course, you can use these, as I understand, to actually boil things like water. You could cook in it potentially. So the vessel itself is also part of the kit and could be a tool in and of itself for storing water, carrying water, purifying water, cooking, things like that. So that is my SHTF survival tin. And how many things are in here? Let's count. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, plus the 4 Ranger bands. So it's like a 24-piece kit in this Altoids tin. So not too shabby. Hopefully you guys think this is halfway decent. And I will say, this was a lot harder than I thought. I feel like they're making these things smaller, which they're probably not. But there's really just not much space because I wanted to put things in here like a Bic lighter. Even a mini Bic lighter, but to fit a mini Bic lighter, that would take up as much space as, say, these 3 items would be like a mini Bic or something like that. So I'd have to sacrifice something to put in a lighter. I wanted to put in a dedicated knife, something a little more substantial in terms of like blade length. But again, to do that, I would have had to either lose the multi-tool or just a bunch of other stuff and really reduce this to just a few components. So I wanted to get, something for basic navigation, a basic tool, and you've kind of got 2 of them, something for fire starting, stuff that can be used as tinder, sewing and fishing, potentially signaling as far as the light and the little glow sticks are concerned, a couple little medical items, some stuff for filtering, storing, and purifying water, just kind of some of the basic stuff. There's nothing in here for shelter or anything like that, but it was just a fun thing, kind of a fun exercise in putting this together. And more importantly, I get to give this away to somebody, which I think is pretty cool. So hopefully whoever wins can find some use for some of the items in here. Maybe you just leave it in the tin and throw it in your bug out bag or your EDC bag, or maybe you give it away or just kind of take what you want and toss the rest. It's totally up to you, but it is being given away. So how do you win? Very simple. Be subscribed to this channel and leave a comment on this video telling me if you could add one thing to this kit, just one, what would it be? And just assume that there would be room for it. Something on the smaller side. So for example, you could say, I would add a Bic lighter. Even though we know it wouldn't fit, that's fine. Just something you would add. I would add a Bic lighter. I would add a Victorinox, classic or whatever. What's the one thing that you would add to this kit? Leave that in the comments, be subscribed, and you are entered. And I'm going to let this run for basically 2 days. So this video is posting on Sunday, and I'm going to end these submissions Tuesday at midnight. So Monday is Labor Day, September 2nd. So September 3rd, at the end of the day at midnight Central Standard Time, I will end the submissions. And then probably the next day, maybe 2 days later, I will do a random drawing, as I always do, pick a random comment, and give this survival tin to one of you lucky. Depending on how you look at it, you may be thinking, yeah, I don't want this. But I'll pick a winner within a day or two and send this out to whoever wins. In addition, I had a couple other things just lying around, just very basic stuff that I have multiples of. An emergency blanket, a Mylar kind of rescue blanket, and then an all-weather notebook. This brand is one I've used for years. So whoever wins the tin, I'm also going to send you the notebook and the emergency blanket. So that is it. That is my entry for the SHTF Survival Kit Challenge. BigRedEDC. Let's see what you got, buddy. And if you haven't already, go check out his channel. As I mentioned earlier, these will be posting around the same time. So I'm going to be heading over there myself to go see what he's put together and enjoy that video. And again, this is all in the name of good fun, good community, and a little bit of generosity in giving these away to some subscribers. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you, Marshall, for the idea, for getting this going, for sending us the tins. And of course, thank you for selling me this beautiful knife that you made, which I will be doing a full review on in the future. But that is it for the survival tin. Thanks again, and I will talk to you soon.